I was loving looking back at old pictures of Coachella because I had 10 years of working there on the artist side. Some great memories, some fun times. Like the time Steve Tyler sat down next to me and he asked me for a light. And I said, I'll do one better than that. And he said, what? I said, I'll give you my lighter if you take a photograph with me. And he's like, come on. And that was it. Then everyone wanted a photograph. But he was very gracious and lots of fun, and everyone got their photographs, including my friend Schmidt. And other memories that jump out were the Fatboy Slim year, obviously, was a big one. Norman actually sent me an email a few months before the festival, and he said, hey Liz, we need to get some umbrellas. And I was thinking about these ones, and he sent me a link to eBay with these black umbrellas, and inside it was the smiley face, you know, the trademark Fatboy Slim kind of acid house yellow smiley happy face. And I wrote back to him and I was like, oh, they're really cool, Norman, but you do realise the festival's in the desert, like it's highly unlikely to rain. And he wrote back and he's like, oh no, it's going to rain, we're going to make it rain. Of course he was talking about the production, and we did famously make it rain on the stage. And Fatboy Slim went out with his umbrella, his smiley face umbrella. And actually on the way, when he turned around to go back up onto the DJ booth, he tripped and almost fell on his face. And I caught it on my camera, which is actually on my website, on the Mediafix website. And he threw the umbrella at me. He actually gave me one of those umbrellas as a gift. Of course, now somebody's making noise outside. What else? Yeah, there was also the other DJ years, big production, ambitious production was the year that I worked with Avicii. Can't believe that was 8 years ago now. And it was all about the head. It was this huge, massive graphic morphing 3D construction, and Avicii was on top of it. And like all the music and the graphics had all been made all part of this new technology. It'd never been done before. Many hours spent on the technical aspects of this huge big head. And the guys in the tech, all the tech guys, the lighting director, everyone on the team, nobody slept the night before, like up all night. You can imagine how much effort they had to put in to make all these little like technical details work. Anyway, the head never worked, unfortunately, and it's really sad because we all know what a hard-working artist Avicii was. But thankfully we had the second week and the head worked the second week, and it was great to see it all come to life. You may have been there, you may have seen it. And then there was the year I worked with young Madion, the French DJ, sweetheart, very like incredibly in awe. He just seemed like, you know, just wide-eyed the whole time he was there. He couldn't believe he'd actually got a chance to play Coachella. And he even had a little glass of champagne after he came on stage, which for him was quite unusual because I don't think he even had ever drank much before. And then there was also the year that we had some drama. Well, we've had lots of drama. I remember I had to run around the desert and get a doctor for DJ Shadow when he turned not so well, but he managed to make it on stage, thankfully. And then there was the year that the Damned reformed and did their reunion. And the night before the festival, I got a phone call to say that they weren't going to stay in the desert, they were going to stay further out, which was actually turned out to be not such a great move because their tour bus got broken into. And the next morning I got a phone call from production manager Jamal, and Jamal said basically everything's gone and Captain Sensible doesn't have any stage clothes. And if you know the Damned, you know that Captain Sensible has a very specific look. So cut to me and him running around, me and Captain Sensible running around the desert, which has got a lot of like old lady shops, trying to find a Where's Waldo type red and black stripy jumper. I mean, we just made it in the nick of time. But I think probably my sweetest memory was one year, the first year I took my son to Coachella. And it was back when the artist area was like super exclusive and there was barely anyone there. It was really quiet back then. And I'd said to my son, look, let's go back here. I want to go and use the bathrooms because the bathrooms are a lot nicer. So I left him outside, milling around, just sort of underneath this canopy and sofas and stuff. And I went to the bathroom. When I came out, my son was sat next to Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore. And they were obviously like, oh, this little kid here. And then they saw me and like, oh, hi. And they went to sort of speak to me. But before they had a chance to say anything and before I had a chance to engage in conversation, my son pipes up and goes, Mom, come on, I really want to go and see Travis. We're going to miss them. And Cameron Diaz and Drew Barrymore just smiled and kind of gave me a little look like, huh. And we leave, and I was like, don't you know who that is? That's like two Hollywood babes. And he's like, who? Huh? What? So of course now he looks back on that year, and the way he tells the story is that he was hanging out with Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz.